Davis Keyshawn, this new guy, he's 140 pounds. He's not bad.
Yeah.
Keyshawn Davis. That's him right there, isn't it?
Ooh, and I thought he was.
Ooh, there we go right here.
Oh yeah,
He's a young guy.
nice combination.
He's quick.
Good. Yeah. Ooh.
It's a harder puncher.
And
Early forecast for the highly anticipated lightweight showdown between Gervonta Davis and Keyshawn Davis have already started circulating, and some of the biggest minds in boxing are stepping forward to share their picks. This isn't being treated like an ordinary fight card. Legends of the sport, respected analysts, and even a few surprising personalities are all weighing in. We're talking about major figures such as Mike Tyson, Joe Rogan, Floyd Mayweather, Calvin Ford, and others. Each one has offered their perspective on how this matchup could play out, whether Gervonta "Tank" Davis continues to dominate the division or if Keyshawn Davis shocks the world by defying expectations. These takes aren't coming from casual observers. Every voice involved has deep experience and a serious understanding of boxing at the highest level. Tyson focuses heavily on mindset and resilience. Mayweather has made it clear where his loyalty stands. Rogan brings a detailed, analytical approach that often challenges common assumptions about the sport. And Calvin Ford, who has trained Tank for years, is confident and direct when explaining why he believes his fighter has the edge.
What was your thoughts on that type of performance as a rising star in boxing?
Where you at, Tank? Where you at? Where you at, Tank? That's what was my thoughts. I mean, the call out too after the performance. Come on, man. Look, man. Keyshawn showed. Look, this is what I've been waiting on from Keyshawn, man. Keyshawn has been kind of hot and cold. He finally put it together, man. He got his mental right. His team is right. His skill is on fire, on point, man. And he did it under these circumstances and this pressure. Behind this crowd, man, that dude is a star, bro. Seriously, man. All that weight on his back, bro. He put it down. He was even dealing with his brothers, man. His brothers, his sisters singing the national anthem. It was a family affair, bro.
He said his sister had a car crash too prior to today too.
Fire, man. Newborn child as well, man. And he was able to manage all of this.
Let's take a closer look at how each of these experts is viewing the matchup and why their opinions matter. Every prediction comes from a different angle: experience in the ring, time spent training champions, or years of studying fights at the highest level. When you line those perspectives up, a clearer picture of this clash starts to form. Some are focused on raw power and finishing ability. Others are looking at ring IQ, adaptability, and mental strength under pressure. A few are weighing recent performances and momentum heading into the fight. Put together, these insights help explain why this bout has people so divided and why the outcome feels anything but predictable.
You know, you stole the show. You know, I know it's, you know, you're the main event. You're supposed to, but you delivered.
Right.
And you, after it, you said, you know, knock, knock, Tank.
Yeah.
I'm knocking on the door. You came over here, said light skin. A lot
Yeah.
of fight fans like when people call out and do things like that.
But only person that don't like it is him. He's kind of weird. But now he got no choice but to fight me. The fans want him to fight me. After what I just did tonight against a guy that's bigger than him, come on now. If I touch him, what's gonna happen? Talk about that. Everybody want to talk about, oh, Keyshawn, what if he touch you? What if I touch him? Yeah, okay. Come on.
Now let's dive deeper into what these predictions are really saying, because the boxing insiders aren't sugarcoating anything. Starting with the person closest to Gervonta Davis, Floyd "Money" Mayweather. Floyd's history with Tank runs deep. He's trained alongside him, guided his career, promoted him, and witnessed his rise firsthand. And his stance couldn't be more direct. According to Floyd, this matchup comes down to one key advantage: time spent at the highest level. In his view, Tank operates on a completely different tier. While he acknowledges Keyshawn Davis' skill and potential, he believes stepping into a fight like this is entering unfamiliar territory. Tank has already been tested against elite competition, survived high-pressure moments, and proven himself under the brightest lights. That kind of seasoning, Floyd argues, isn't something a fighter can pick up overnight. Mayweather isn't backing Tank solely because of knockout ability. His confidence is rooted in Tank's familiarity with elite-level warfare inside the ring. And coming from someone who built his legacy on winning at the very top, that endorsement carries serious weight. But that doesn't mean the outcome is universally agreed upon. When the conversation shifts to mindset and inner toughness, Mike Tyson's perspective changes the tone entirely. Iron Mike approaches the fight from a psychological angle, who stays composed, who absorbs punishment, and who refuses to break when things stop going according to plan. He admits Tank's power is real, but he also points out that boxing matches aren't decided by strength alone. Tyson highlights Keyshawn's resolve, suggesting that determination and courage can sometimes outweigh raw force. For him, the real question isn't talent. It's whether Keyshawn can withstand the intensity Tank brings once the fight turns chaotic. Mike doesn't commit to either side, but he makes it clear this contest could be decided by who's willing to push further when conditions get brutal.
He was over by 6.4 pounds at the weigh-in. He was that's a left. There it is. Davis, and down goes Levels.
Then there's Joe Rogan. He may not coach fighters for a living, but his understanding of combat sports is undeniable. Joe looks at this matchup through the lens of contrast. What excites him most is how opposite these two fighters are and how that collision could shape the entire bout. From Joe's perspective, Gervonta's strength is downright destructive. When Tank lands clean, fights don't just end, they are wiped out. But on the other side, he sees Keyshawn as polished, patient, and highly strategic. Rogan believes that if Keyshawn can stick to his game plan, manage distance, and stay clear of those fight-changing shots, he genuinely has a path to victory. To Joe, this matchup feels like intelligence versus brute force, a tactical battle against raw devastation, and that's what makes it so compelling. He gives credit to both fighters, but subtly suggests that Keyshawn's precision and technical sharpness could be the deciding element. Still, he raises the biggest question of all: is it actually possible to stay away from Tank's power for the entire fight? And when talking about Keyshawn, one name always comes up: Shakur Stevenson. Shakur has spent real time in the gym with him and has no hesitation backing his close friend. He believes public perception is skewed simply because Tank carries more star power. According to Shakur, what people don't see is the work Keyshawn puts in daily: the discipline, the composure, and the mental readiness. In Shakur's eyes, this isn't just another fight. He sees it as Keyshawn's opportunity to flip the narrative and announce himself on the biggest stage.
Knock that man ass out, man. Stop playing with me, man. Keep that going, man. Hey, real talk, you having a good time, though? All right, come on. Hey, this is my city, man. I try to tell y'all that
Shakur isn't just leaning toward a Keyshawn victory. He's framing it as a moment that could redefine an entire career. That level of belief doesn't come casually, especially from someone as calculated as Shakur. The question is whether he's spotting something others are missing, or simply standing firmly behind someone he knows well. Either way, it adds another layer to this debate. Next up is Teddy Atlas, and with Teddy, there's never any sugarcoating. His breakdown centers on one crucial factor: timing, both strategically and historically. In his view, this matchup may be arriving too early for Keyshawn. Teddy believes Gervonta is currently operating at his absolute best. He's already endured elite-level battles, learned how to stay composed when everything's on the line, and proven he can close the show under pressure. Atlas doesn't question Keyshawn's ability, but he does point out that development takes time. He suggests that if this fight was scheduled a year or two down the road, the outlook might change completely. Right now, though, he sees Tank's ring maturity as the deciding advantage. It's a tough assessment, but one rooted in realism, because in boxing, timing can matter just as much as talent. That leads to the bigger question: is Keyshawn stepping in too fast, or is this perfectly timed to challenge Tank before anything slips? And of course, Tank's corner wasn't going to stay quiet. Calvin Ford, the man who's guided Gervonta since the very beginning, has no doubts about how this plays out. He respects Keyshawn as a person and a fighter, but he makes one thing clear: this isn't an entry-level test. According to Ford, Tank has already endured the kind of fights that reshape a boxer, and that experience allows him to adjust to any opponent standing across from him. Ford's confidence is rooted in what is seen firsthand: Tank's durability, his power, and his ability to adapt when the fight doesn't go as planned. From his perspective, Keyshawn is stepping into a situation he hasn't fully encountered yet. Still, the debate remains: does Ford's certainty come from insight, or is he overlooking just how quickly Keyshawn has evolved? And that uncertainty is exactly why this matchup has everyone talking.
Dude, I'm not chasing you. I'm not chasing you. Tiafimo is running from me. I'm not chasing you, Tiafimo. Who else? I'm not trying to...
What really elevates this fight is how perfectly these two lightweight forces contrast with one another. Their styles aren't just different. They clash in a way that's almost guaranteed to produce chaos inside the ring. Gervonta brings pure destruction. His reputation is built on sudden endings and a knockout percentage that speaks for itself. Once he finds his range, it only takes a single opening for everything to be over. His talent for cutting off space and unloading crushing hooks and uppercuts makes him one of the most dangerous opponents anyone can face. Standing across from him is Keyshawn Davis, the rising talent whose game is built on speed, accuracy, and elite-level fundamentals shaped by Olympic experience. Rather than relying on brute force, he thrives on positioning, sharp footwork, and calculated decision-making. His style is about breaking opponents down methodically, using precision and movement to stay in control from start to finish. And that contrast, raw power versus refined technique, is exactly what makes this matchup so compelling.
Tank said he's now the new face of boxing. What do you think?
For sure, he's the face of boxing. I don't have no problem with saying that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he deserves everything that's coming to him. He's the face of boxing for sure.
And he's that guy. You talked about how good Shakur is. Do you think people sleep on Tank's skills? They just see him as a knockout artist?
Who sleep on Tank's skills? Nah, don't nobody sleep on Tank. Like,
well, I just go because so many people just think he's a knockout artist, but I think they underestimate his boxing IQ.
And back in 2021, in August, I sparred Tank, and he's skilled. Like, he's skillfully. Like, he's like, you can watch me fight. You know, I'm skilled. When I got in the ring with him, he's skillfully great. He's great. Like, Tank is all the way around a great fighter for sure. He's for sure like Shakur the man. Tank the man too. Tank the man to beat right now because he got the popularity and the skill. You know what I'm saying? Shakur the man right now, but he's just not as popular as Tank.
Now picture what happens when those two approaches finally collide. Gervonta's goal will be simple: drag the fight into disorder. He's at his best when exchanges get wild, using constant forward pressure to break opponents down. Few fighters are as effective at trapping rivals along the ropes and forcing them into positions where defense stops working. But Keyshawn is prepared for that kind of threat. His movement is fast and fluid. His lead hand snaps with purpose, and the way he shifts angles keeps opponents guessing. He's not going to stay planted and allow Tank to dictate the terms. Instead, he'll rely on spacing, timing, and speed, using his reach and mobility to control where the fight takes place. That push and pull, pressure versus evasion, is where this contest could be decided.
Is Keyshawn ready based on this performance to take on Tank Davis, and how does that fight play out?
I feel like Keyshawn is ready to take on a guy like Tank. I think that Keyshawn is one of the most skillful fighters in the sport of boxing. I always told Keyshawn since a young kid he can fight. I just don't like the simple fact that he's running on media and not keeping a buck, saying that he was beating me up and Shakur had to like rile me up to spar him, because this make no sense. Shakur is a better boxer than Keyshawn, and if I'm in there doing millions of rounds with Shakur, what makes you think that Shakur has to hype me up to spar Keyshawn? Like, but it is what it is. He got to hype himself up. He got to build himself. I don't really try to pay too much mind to that, but like I said, Keyshawn is a great fighter. I always thought Keyshawn was a great fighter.
So everything comes down to one thing: which fighter can force the fight to be played on his terms? If Gervonta connects cleanly, the night could end in an instant. But if Keyshawn is able to stay clear of those heavy shots and push the contest into the later rounds, he has the conditioning and ring awareness to steadily take control. This matchup is built on opposing forces: raw force against accuracy, proven dominance against rising ambition, disorder versus discipline. Both men are motivated, both have something at stake, and both possess weapons capable of neutralizing the other's strengths. But boxing has never been just about technique or highlight reel finishes. It's also about tension, personal stakes, and moments that divide fans. That element is already front and center in this rivalry. The friction between Gervonta Tank Davis and Keyshawn Davis didn't appear overnight. It's been building quietly, and now it's close to boiling over. Keyshawn has been turning heads in the lightweight ranks with an undefeated record, blazing speed, and unshakable confidence. He hasn't been subtle about his ambitions either. through interviews and online exchanges, has made it clear that Tank is his target. He's openly predicted a knockout and has repeatedly stated that his technical ability would give him the advantage in that matchup.
Hey, a world title. But also, we gonna come back to Norfolk, man, so y'all don't forget about me. Y'all keep supporting DB3. But a world title definitely gonna be next. 2025, we got big plans for everybody in the boxing world. Hey, Gervonta, knock, knock.
You've been on that all week. Listen.
Prefer Tank Davis, the top guy. I would go for the top guy. If I could choose, I would choose Tank Davis. I would not Tank short it out. Tank is a great fighter. Hats off to Tank. I'm not even about to just do all that. Like, Tank is a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody knows that. He got the power, he got the skill and ability. He's patient. You know what I'm saying? But I know who I am. That little short can't touch me. And I'm coming with that same shit he coming with. And you know that. His coach Kenny, you know, got a lot to say. You know what I'm saying? So also go fight the from Cuba. No, nigga, I'm gonna fight Tank. Stop mentioning other people when I mention your fighter. What you talking about, boy? Like, don't play with me, bro. Y'all know how I'm coming. Tank, if you wanna fight, send me a contract, bro. Tank, you know.
But here's where everything takes a sharp turn. Gervonta isn't someone who shrugs off disrespect. Much of Tank's journey has been shaped by doubt, criticism, and confrontation, both inside the ropes and beyond them. He's built a reputation as someone who thrives on conflict, especially when situations become personal. And personal is exactly where this rivalry ended up. Whispers started circulating that Tank was aware of sensitive details involving Keyshawn's family. What began as indirect remarks slowly shifted into more direct shots. At that point, the focus drifted away from the sport itself. Keyshawn responded forcefully, and according to reports, his words went too far, bringing Tank's family into the conversation, including references to his mother and brother. That was the breaking point. From Gervonta's perspective, boundaries had been crossed. Once that happened, the situation was no longer limited to verbal exchanges. Tensions exploded, and the feud spilled over into a physical confrontation, turning a competitive rivalry into something far more volatile.
Y'all know what happened to me. Getting smacked by Suge Smith. Everybody fucking knows. Yes, I got smacked in the fucking Oscars by this motherfucker. And people like, did it hurt? It still hurts. But I'm not a victim, baby. You will never see me on Oprah or Gail crying. Never gonna happen. I couldn't believe it. And I love Men in Black. No. I love Will Smith. I have rooted for Will Smith my whole life. I root for this motherfucker, okay? And a lot of people go, Chris, how come you didn't do nothing back? How come you didn't do nothing back that night? Because I got parents. That's why. Because I was raised. Okay? And you know what my parents taught me? Don't fight in front of white people.
Reports say the tension finally boiled over during a closed-door gathering, where the two fighters came face-to-face. Known for reacting fast, Tank was said to have struck first, forcing security to rush in and separate them before things went any further. Still, the damage was done. Clips and details from the confrontation spread rapidly online, and the boxing world immediately took sides. Some fans rallied behind Keyshawn, viewing him as the bold challenger unafraid of a dominant star. Others stood firmly with Tank, defending the veteran champion who refused to tolerate what he saw as blatant disrespect. The incident only added fuel to an already heated rivalry, turning this fight into more than just a matchup. It became a statement waiting to happen.
He gets an opportunity. I mean, Tank has been tweeting about him today.
What did Tank say?
I mean, you want me to verbatim? I mean, I can give the clean version.
Let me know, because I don't be on Twitter, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, all right, so this is pretty much stop eating, do that, this little N fighting on Friday night. He's not even worth mentioning. And Buddy's a B, code B, tell him to do something.
I ain't gonna lie. Tank gonna say what he gonna say. You know what I'm saying? It's just trash talk, for real, for real. Tank know what's up with Keyshawn. They done sparred, you know what I'm saying? They done sparred plenty of times. So it's like, I don't really know, but I'm gonna just leave that as that, you know what I'm saying? But Keyshawn gonna go ahead and punish this guy on Friday, you know what I'm saying? Then whatever Tank come across, we gonna punish him too, you know what I'm saying?